This is my short video clips during our main engine piston overhauling. Putting up of hydraulic jacks onto the cylinder head nuts. This type of engine, there are 8 cylinder head nuts, so it is divided into 2 sets of hydraulic jacks for each sets. So the other crew is connecting the hydraulic hoses connected to the hydraulic pump. So this hydraulic pump is used to jack up or loosen the cylinder head nuts by using hydraulic oil. Now the crew is already removing the hydraulic jacks, then removing also the cylinder head nuts because it's already loosened. So one by one they're removing the hydraulic jack. By removing all cylinder head nuts, we mark them so that when putting it back, we will also put it in its original place. Now the crew is putting the big shackle attached to the monorail crane. So upon checking thoroughly that there is no obstruction side by side, now cylinder head cover is ready for lifting. We slowly lift it up, slowly, then we shift it to the underside of the engine for cleaning and inspection. After removing the cylinder head, so other crew is checking the top side, removing some carbon deposits so we can remove the clearing ring. And now we're ready to remove the piston by installing its lifting device. The other crew is on the bottom side removing some connections and hydraulic nuts, which is not being published in this video. Now the piston is ready for lifting, so we slowly lift it up using the monorail crane and checking side by side for any obstruction. So one by one, the piston rings already goes out, and then slowly raise it up. Now piston rod is coming. Okay, stopping wax. We ship it up to the other side of the engine for cleaning, replacement of piston rings, inspection, measurement. Other crew is taking inspection of the cylinder liner, measuring its bore, checking for scratches and markings. So by checking its bore upon measurement, there is a form provided by with the checklist according to the manual. So they will then compare it to the standard size and the actual size of the measurement. Now we're putting the special tool for compressing the piston ring when putting it back. Now after thorough cleaning and inspection, we're now ready to put back the piston. We'll slowly ship it up. Okay, then we move it slowly. The other person or engineer to stand by downside to check upon lowering the piston rod to check if there's any obstruction. Okay, now it's lowering. Okay, slightly lowering. So stopping box goes in. Then slowly piston crown. Okay, checking, putting some oil. By putting it back, it may take some time because the other crew is properly seating the piston rod foot to its base on the crosshead bearing side in order to make sure that this piston rod foot properly seated onto its base. Now we're making some adjustments for the starboard, forward and up. We're slowly doing it, then it may take some time that it will properly sit it on its place. Now finally the piston sitting on its base. Now we make it slowly goes down, then until its piston rings are settled into its special tool. Now we can remove the special lifting tool, including the compression for piston, special tool for compressing the piston ring. Okay, we do some cleaning on the top side, then put the gasket. Now we're putting back the cylinder head. Okay, making sure that there's no obstruction, so it is totally clean. Okay, checking some gaskets. We're putting it back slowly, so each screw is designated place to check. And slowly putting it in. Upon putting back the cylinder head, check if there's no obstruction. Okay, and the gaskets are properly settled onto its place. So after checking that it's all good, so we put back the cylinder head nuts one by one, then the hydraulic jacks. Now to tighten the cylinder head nuts. So these cylinder head nuts must not be interchanged, so we marked it with a number coincided with the studs. Now we're ready to tighten the cylinder head nuts using the hydraulic pump. Now tightening. Removing the hydraulic jacks one by one. This time we're going to remove the exhaust valve using also the hydraulic pump. We're going to replace the exhaust valve. We're going to perform the lapping by using this special tool. After doing some check, we're going now ready to put back the exhaust valve. Okay, just by that, so now we're now putting it back, the new spare exhaust valve. Checking for obstruction, and checking that it might properly seated on its place. Putting back the exhaust valve nuts and tightening it up using the hydraulic pump. After finishing the tightening. Now we're going to put back the high pressure pipes, EPO pipes, hydraulic pipes, some fittings, exhaust side. So there are so many fittings connected to the exhaust valve and cylinder head. So one by one we put it back with some torque. Torque I mean tightening torque, especially these EPO high pressure pipes. Now using the torque range, so we're going to tighten it according to the manual, one by one. We divided its task. Each crew has its own job to do. So other crew is tightening, other crew is fixing some part of the fittings. With a competent crew, this job will take only 8 to 10 hours. The piston overhauling and replacement, including this exhaust valve. The important thing is that the crew knows the procedures and his job duties on how to overhaul. And of course, must be incorporated with safety. So safety is the first priority. So by observing each other and wearing of proper PPE. Now we're putting back the exhaust, the expansion joint for the exhaust manifold. Putting back some fittings one by one. So it takes time to put back rather than removing, especially this electronically operated engine. So these sensors, and there's some torques that needs to be observed and follow. Then there's the job of the chief engineer rather than the first engineer. They're overlooking all the jobs that were performed upon putting back the wirings, these fittings, the torques. So they're checking if it is done accordingly. They are supervising all the jobs performed, checking the safety of each crew while doing the task. After putting back all, checking the tightness, all the fittings, we do the testing of opening the fuel lines, the lube oil lines, the jacket cooling water lines. Everything is well, okay, there's no leak. Job is done. Good job, guys. So these are the crew of one Manhattan engine team. Thanks for watching.